bringing you the latest from Utah State University's Uinta Basin Regional Campus. This is Aggie Update. Now, here's your host, Bob Peterson.
Thanks for joining us today on Aggie Update. A few announcements for our viewing audience, and especially our Aggie students out there. Want to remind students who are planning to graduate this upcoming spring, now's the time to turn in your application. If you turn it in before December 5th, it's a $10 charge for your graduation application. If you wait till after that time period, you're going to be paying $50. So save yourself some money and apply now for graduation. You should be getting your graduation application soon, and that requires signatures from your advisors. And so start thinking about that now. I know it seems a little bit premature, but now's a great time to do it. Open registration for spring semester begins November 16th. That's not too far away. In fact, when this program begins, we'll probably be into that period. Come in early, register, meet with advisors, and get going on spring semester. Classes, as you recall, are going to begin January 7th. A reminder also that the first purge, and a lot of the students know what that means, the fee payment deadline is going to be December 12th. So make sure you get your payment taken care of, your plans for payment rather, before that date, before you're purged from the classes. That's always an important reminder too. Recently we conducted senior assemblies through the various high schools in the Uinta Basin. I want to congratulate our area seniors for the great work that they're doing in all 5 of our area high schools. And our purpose for these senior assemblies have been traveling there and talking to them about upcoming, incoming freshman scholarships that are be available for them as they contemplate attending with us at USU and the Uinta Basin. We're making a very active attempt to recruit our incoming freshman class to stay here for a year, 2, 3, or 4 years, and in order to do that, we're offering some fantastic scholarships. Last year we offered around $1,500 for that first year of scholarship money. So parents, students, contact somebody at USU for that application if you haven't already received it. Also, panel discussions recently were held with our education program, and our next guests that we're going to be talking about is going to be talking more about the panel discussions with educators here locally in both school districts in Duchesne and Uinta to once again try to recruit an educating class, students pursuing education. So we'll talk more about that as we bring in our next guest. That's all for the announcements today. Joining me this week is Fernando Mesa, USU Uinta Basin Academic Coordinator. Fernando, it's good to have you back.
Thank you. It's good to be back with you.
You're no stranger to VTV. This is your second appearance.
Second appearance.
And last time we talked, you were fairly new to the Uinta Basin. How's the transition gone?
You know, it has been absolutely wonderful. I have enjoyed very much the opportunity that I've had to serve the students in the Uinta Basin and to work along with the great individuals at Utah State University here in the Basin. It's been a fantastic transition.
We're going to get to the panel discussion that we alluded to in the announcements here in a moment, but let's kind of back up and talk about what prompted your position in happening here at Uinta Basin at USU, because we went through a huge recruitment push for our educators in all the districts here in the Uinta Basin. Found a lot of success, and because of that success we determined that it would be wonderful to have somebody like you to help follow and act as a liaison between the students and campus in their push for enrolling in education classes, and in this particular case, graduate school.
Absolutely. And
so just remind the audience that the dean and myself went out to various faculties and received signatures from students who are interested in pursuing their graduate work in education, be it a licensure, a master's degree.
Right.
And with that list, we passed it off to you and said, okay, Fernando, run with it. Let's talk about what the outcome has been from that initial push. We're talking about summer semester and even this fall.
Right.
Let's start with that first and tell everybody what you've been doing.
Well, we've seen some great success. Here in the Basin, we've had a really busy season of recruiting, and with the support that we've had not only from the dean's office but from yourself and several others, we have been able to reach out to the school districts in the area and go out and recruit from those prospective students that want a graduate degree. And one of the most exciting things that I think we've seen as the outcome is that we have had a total of 48 graduate level students and 49 undergraduate level students that have actually applied for our education programs. So it has been fantastic, excitement is high, and I think more great opportunities are yet to come.
Well, let's talk about who made maybe the initial request that these programs be strengthened, because we certainly have our advisory board that although not governing, they advise us and tell us what they think that we should be looking at. Education was key.
Right.
Also the superintendents, who we enjoy such a wonderful relationship with,
yes.
they requested that they'd like to grow their own, so to speak, teachers. And so with that charge, I think we've gone out, and with those numbers you're suggesting, we've helped build your own type of concept here in the Uinta Basin.
Well, and that's really, you hit something, Bob, there that I think is so valuable. And working here within the basin, one of the things that I have noted the most is a desire to really build our own. There's such a need and I have a personal philosophy about building your own. Having been an individual that grew up in a community that I later came back to teach for, I was vested in that community. And I think we're trying to build that same investment here within the basin. Yeah. And the superintendents, as you alluded to a second ago, have been really supportive in that and allowing us those opportunities to come in. And actually, we've hosted some recruitment sessions at the districts. So it has been fantastic. And as you talked a little bit about, even with the graduate panel discussion that we've had just recently, also great opportunity to try to recruit for those districts, to bring people who are currently serving in the district in a capacity, whether it's as a classroom teacher, maybe they're serving as a para-educator, giving them an opportunity to come back and pursue a further educational goal.
Well, let's talk about those students in the closing minute of this session. You know, that many names signing up, requesting information on graduate programs. Speak to me about how that translates into education, our educators here locally, and what that means to parents, let alone the students. But isn't that wonderful that students are stepping up, saying, "Yeah, I'll take more education," because that's benefiting our children.
Absolutely.
It's benefiting the educator, but in turn, I think our districts and all of us recognize that our kids are going to be educated better.
I couldn't agree with you more, Bob. I think one of the greatest things that we have been able to find is in doing the recruitment, because you're reaching out to individuals in the district itself. Those individuals have a commitment to the children of the district, to the community itself. And what it means is better opportunities for individuals here at home. Yeah. It's building someone who's from home to further the goals of the community and really do a great job of educating our kids.
Well, when we come back for the next section, we're going to talk to you exclusively, those who may be wanting to pursue an education and as being an educator, and we've got the person for you to talk to. So when we come back in a minute, we'll allude to the panel discussion as well as you as a future educator. We'll be right back.
USU has given me the opportunity to go back to school. I'm a non-traditional student.
It's just so convenient to have USU Uinta Basin right here in the Vernal area.
Since I started my education here and I'm a teacher at Vernal Middle School, it's helped me jump a couple lanes over and get a higher salary.
How America is struggling right now, if somebody doesn't have a degree, it's going to be harder and harder for you to make it.
But also the training you get from going to school for life is huge.
Welcome back to Aggie Update. We're joined with Fernando Mesa, the USU Uinta Basin Academic Coordinator, and we visited about our tremendous efforts that have gone into our recruitment of educators and building our education program, building our own here in the Uinta Basin. Fernando, I also, you talk about the events that we've recently had, this panel discussion I alluded to. The last few nights, you've invited a panel of these recent recruits who have started their program to talk with some of their peers and others who are maybe at their same schools about the idea of, hey, you can do this too.
Absolutely.
And I think that's a very successful endeavor because you're getting their own peers to say, hey, it can be done. I'm doing it right now. Okay, I'm having to juggle in my schedule a little bit, but I'm doing it. Now it's your turn.
Absolutely. And Bob, that's exactly the key. The focus was to provide for these prospective students a little information from some of their peers. I know one of the things that many students have mentioned to me when we have had conversations, we're just not sure about whether or not this is going to be something that's doable at this time. Maybe it's family balancing the family time, balancing school time, balancing work time, and I just don't know, can I handle this schoolwork? Allowing them that opportunity to hear from their peers. How are they doing and how are they making it happen? How do you go from planning your lessons for 5 days worth of teaching to going into the classroom and sitting as a student yourself and getting your lessons out there? And I think also it's dispelling the fears that, I think it's been too long since I've done math. It's been too long since I've written a paper, because you know what? We've got a wonderful faculty who's here, who's ready to be supportive, that's going to help you be successful. That's our ultimate goal.
And it's one thing if you and I say that to them,
and it's
that's
another
our
if
jobs
the peer
to
say
do.
it.
But if the peer does, say, well,
Absolutely.
you're really doing it, and you've got 3 children. So I think that's a tremendous effort,
Yes,
and
sir.
we're going to continue those. And I want to point out the resume that Fernando has. Fernando's come from principal duties, superintendent duties in the Texas area, and so he knows education. And so one of the vital roles you play is, if you don't mind saying, the hand-holding of some of these students who are fearful, who have busy lives, who are already working, and those who aren't. Not only the non-traditional student that we're talking about, but the traditional student.
Absolutely.
I'm the person to come see, and I can hook you up with those contacts in Logan's campus. You got a problem, start with me first. I think that link's been missing. Some of you in the audience may recall. You come in asking about an education degree program, especially in the master's level. Here's a phone number on campus. Give them a call and let us know how it works out. I mean, it was friendly, but in a lot of ways that's how it was. And now we have somebody here that can tie them into the university advisor.
Absolutely, and I have truly enjoyed that aspect of my job more than any other piece, is being able to make those connections with them. Because it's a great thing when a student comes back and says, you know what, thank you so much for connecting me with this person. They have been absolutely great in helping me get the information that I need in a timely manner, and I feel confident about where I'm at right now and where I'm going to head.
Yep.
So great stuff, and I'm here to make sure that happens for any student. And I will put in a plug for that at this time. If you are interested, if education is something you've considered, come in, talk to us, don't be afraid. I'm here to serve you in whatever way that I can to make sure that we make that happen for you. So come in and see us. Let us make those connections for you and with you.
Our students, I found, have enjoyed having somebody, flesh and blood, standing in front of them, talking to them. And as simple as an email or a phone call might be, it's so refreshing for them to come in and actually be sent to somebody that's right down the hall.
Absolutely.
And can be their advocate. So tremendous things happening for those of you who are wanting to pursue an education degree. And we've been talking a lot about graduate school, but Fernando's other job title is also to help those who are in the undergraduate programs. Those who want to go on to be an elementary ed teacher, a secondary ed teacher, even a counselor. So you've got a lot to do for a part-time job.
Yes. It is a full-time responsibility with a part-time job title.
Imagine that.
Yes.
Maybe we can change that later.
No.
But you've certainly been a great asset for USU, for those pursuing education, which is just one of the many degree offerings we have. But imagine if we had that kind of person for every degree area. And you know, I'll make mention of the business programs that we're offering now. We've also identified Leslie Jessup as the key advisor for business programs. And so that's another way to help students. Instead of sending them to campus for the email or phone call, which can still be done, you have a local person on staff to visit with business degrees. Peggy Holland, as you work with her, specifically with elementary education.
Absolutely.
So we're seeing a lot of that done by having somebody named specifically for a program, which I think will pay huge dividends.
Absolutely. I want to just jump in here and say one other thing that I'm really excited about and we'll be hearing more about is Future Educators of America. Yes. We have recently become a chapter of the Future Educators of America here in the Basin, so more coming on that.
Fernando will be at local high schools and promoting that. So future teachers, here you go, a professional organization to be part of.
Absolutely.
Thanks for joining us on the program.
Thank you.
That's it for Aggie Update. If you want more information, you can find Fernando on our website at uintabasin.usu.edu or simply give him a call. Thanks for joining us.
Fernando Mesa, and I'm an Aggie.